Hey there, I hope you're doing great. My name is Nate, and in the previous episode I showed you how you can create the animation next episode Netflix style button in Storyline. Now, there was a comment saying something like, yeah, but this doesn't work in mobile Safari because wipe animation don't work. And I was like, challenge accepted. So let me show you how you can fix the wipe animation to show in mobile Safari correctly and there are a bunch of tricks involved. I think you're gonna love it, so let's jump right in. So we need to do three things. First, we're gonna change how this animation works. So wipe animation goes out the window. Now we have to have some sort of animation, of course, and fly in is not okay because it has easing, so it goes fast and then it goes slow at the end. But we want a nice linear motion, so we have to do something else. And we're gonna add a motion path. I'm lazy, so I'm gonna say right. And this motion path should be as the length as the width of the button. Hope that made sense. So the button is 202 pixels, which means motion path is going to be 202 pixels. So let's fix that first. And it's going to go something like this, so we're going to start here and then fly in over the button to get the desired effect. Now, of course, this is not okay because you're going to see how this wipe box moves. So we need some sort of masking. And this is where step number 2 comes in, and that's the magic of scrolling panels. So let's insert a scrolling panel, like that. And we're gonna position it right at the edge where the button starts on the left. Now we're gonna put this, our wipe box inside. There we go, like that. However, the box has to start animation from the left and go to the right, so not in this position. The problem is if I drag it out, it goes out the scrolling panel. But of course, there is a way. So let's just put it back in. Now what you can do, you don't move the box, you move the animation, I don't know, how do you call these things? Just animation points. So the start is here, and end is in the middle. Now I need to adjust again the length, so 202, and position it like that, so that should be correct. Let's preview. Oh, one more thing, I'm jumping ahead. So we need to fix the easing, so you go under direction and you say none. We want a nice smooth linear motion, not like fast and then slow and then fast at the end, or vice versa. Anyway, we want it nice and linear, so we select none. Preview. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Submit. There you go. It works. Oh, it went over a bit, which is not okay. So maybe we just need to adjust it a bit. Pixels left thing that should do. Length. Select it like that. Okay. Right. So what do we do now? We still need to add the hover effect. When you hover over the button, the animation should stop. So we need to hide that wipe box. Now, because we're working with a scrolling panel, there's another problem. As you can see, when we hover over the button, it doesn't work because the scrolling panel is preventing the hover effect. So we have to do something else. So here's the trick. We're gonna insert another object. It's gonna be, actually, let me just duplicate the wipe. Copy paste. Okay, so here's our wipe. So we're gonna call this one hover and go into fill and set transparency to 100. So this is an invisible object, and we're gonna put it over our box here, our button. Now the thing is, you cannot really hide the scrolling panel, but you can move it. But you can't move it unless it's in a group. So we're gonna do another trick here. So this is step number 3. We're gonna put this one out for the time being and select both objects, so the hover and the scrolling panel, and we're gonna group them. Now I'm gonna put this back over our continue button, and now our group here is gonna be called like scrolling magic. Now what we can do, we cannot hide it, but we can move it. So we're gonna say, we're gonna add an animation path to this group, and we're gonna put it off the screen, far, far away in another pixelation. So right here, I think this should be enough safe space to be off the screen. And we're gonna call this one, just to know what's happening here, off screen. Right, so what we want to do now is add a trigger. So we're gonna move our scrolling magic along off screen when mouse hovers over. Object hover. Okay. So when we hover over our invisible object, this whole package is gonna jump off screen and disappear. So to the user, it's gonna look like animation stopped. And of course, we need to address the other thing, because we have to jump to the next slide when animation completes. But now we don't have the wipe anymore, so we have to say line motion path 2, and we're also gonna jump. No, this is a copy. We should delete this one, and we're gonna jump to next slide when animation of our wipe line motion path completes. But there's just a bit more cleaning to do with the hover object, because we copied it from the wipe object. So let's go to our triggers. So we're gonna change state of the wipe to hidden, because it has to hide if we hover, so the animation doesn't complete it and it doesn't jump to the next slide. Now we should move magic along off screen, that's correct, and move along motion path 2, that's not correct, because we're not using that animation anymore. That was just for the wipe. And I think we can preview. Let's see if this works. Okay, I know what's going on. We forgot to delete one more thing. Storyline adds a trigger automatically when you add a motion path. So here's our move scrolling magical off screen and time start. We delete this one, and now we should be okay. There you go. Hover, it disappears, it goes off screen. Nobody knows what's happening, but it looks correct. You can click continue and it jumps to the next slide. And let's just replay to see if it jumps if we don't touch it. Bam. And also I tested it on the iPad, and as you can see, it does work, it's all good. So that's the trick you can use. You use a different kind of animation, you put it in a scrolling panel, you create the group, you shove it off screen so no one knows what's happening, and you're done. I mean, I know it's a lot of steps, but you know, there are a few tricks in there. You can use it in a different way, in different courses, in different projects. So hope you learned something. I'll talk to you in the next video.